Hey Melvin, this is Norma. I'm gonna go ahead and do this video so you can see what I can do in terms of getting you started on your website versus just having a lead generation services and having your own website and having SEO services. So lead generation includes SEO, but the website belongs to my agency, whereas just SEO alone, I can build you your website and it'll be your website, but we'll provide the SEO services, which, will rank the same way as a lead generation. So lead generation, I pretty much build a website on my own, and then I just get you the information as far as, who's wanting that services. So I send, hopefully you've been getting some emails and the calls have been going to you. I'm not too sure if you've actually been picking up any of that. I know I've been getting a lot of the emails for the Xeriscape that I'm doing, because I'm just focusing specifically on Xeriscape, but we can definitely do one for landscaping. And so I have here, I did a Google search first of all on landscaping San Antonio, Texas. And I just want to show you how important it is to have your website and have your website right here if I just kind of refresh this, landscaping San Antonio, Texas, this is what it's giving me. And this is where you want your website to be, and I'll show you how I help contractors pretty much across the state of Texas get to the front page. And it does take some time. It's not something that we're going to do and, over a few months, you're going to start getting leads right away. You may, depending on how aggressive you want to be when it comes to your search engine optimization, but we can get into that later. I just want to show you right now why it is important to come up here. So landscaping San Antonio, Texas, this is what it's giving me. A lot of times you'll see advertisements on the Google ads up here in the front. It's usually up on the top or on the bottom, and this one does have some on the bottom, and it's designated by the word ad. And then on the top here, it also has what they call Google Guarantee or local service. So this is also ads paid for by these companies. One thing that's good about any Google ads is that, it puts you on the front page. Now for this one, it tells the potential customer that if they, sign up with one of these guys or they receive services, that Google will guarantee their work. So what Google does is they screen the companies, they do background checks, license checks, and so forth. Again, it's paid for. So with the ads, it's good to have it because you're on the front page. The thing is, it does add up rather quickly. And I can show you that here in a minute if I remember to do that. But yeah, so these guys, even though it shows here that, let's say, lawnworkssa.com is on the front page, once they stop paying for this ad, they will no longer show up here unless they're listed as one of these 10 providers up here. And so three things I wanted to go over with you is something called citations. The other thing is called content. And the third thing is backlinks. But I'm going to start with content first. And I'm going to go to your competitor. So your competitor, your local competitor is going to be on this front page. And that is VHS Landscaping. So if we do a website, whether it's a lead generation website or your website, we're going to go ahead and create something where we will put at least 1,500 words on this front page. And I say 1,500 words because it allowed me to put in some keywords or key phrases that people are going to be using to search for landscaping business. And it's really going to help you get found on the search engine. The other thing is photos and how it's saved as. So let's say I put photos on your homepage. So for this particular website, if I go to save this image, can you notice it's saved as this, I guess, a combination of numbers and letters. Rather than saving that as that, I would put something like, gardens and landscape. Save it as that, because just like Google crawls your web page for the text version, it also it does crawl your web page for how these photos are saved. Okay, same thing with this one. Save image as. Okay, so that's just says VHS branding. Let me try this very first one. Okay, VHS Jerry. I would, instead put custom landscape design, which is the same thing as what they wrote down here. And so that's how I would work the content of your web page, whether again it's your web page or a lead generation web page. The second thing is citations, and that's when I did the search. Citations has a lot to do with this right here, this map section. So with citations, you have to make sure you have a Google My Business account, and in order to be one of these three here. It's great to be in this map section because a lot of people can find you, right? I mean, all they have to do is click here. They know you're local, so they'll click on here. And in order to be here, other than the Google My Business, you'll have to have a lot of what they call citations. So citations is listing the business name, the address, which you can limit it to just the city and state when you apply for Google My Business, because you're providing your service at the customer's address, not at your address. And then phone number. So you're going to list name, address, and phone number on website directories. So when I say website directories, I'm talking about things like Yelp.com, like Houzz.com, Yellow Pages, Angie's List, all those other Home Advisor, Thumbtack, and so forth. BBB, the Better Business Bureau, can also be a website directory. And not all citations are created equal. So if you get a citation from, let's say, an auto directory, that's not going to be relevant to your landscaping business. So yeah, you're going to have it, but it's not really going to push you up to this area right here because Google won't know that it's not related to your business. And so how I help my customers is I go on here and I see how many citations they have. In other words, how many website directories that they're on. And it also, I have a tool that tells me what exact directories that they're on. So I go out and I would put my clients' information, their business name, address, and phone number on the same directories, plus I'll add more. So if VHS Landscaping has 20 directories or 20 citations that they're on, then for my clients, I will get 40, so that way they're guaranteed eventually to come up here so that people can find you. So it's good to be up here. The only thing is, if you have another landscaper that comes along, then they can boot you out of this section here by having more citations. Okay, so the third thing that I can do to help increase traffic or to get you more leads is to make sure that you're down here in this section. Now, these guys down here are kind of hard to beat. For one, they've probably been in business for a long time, so it's kind of hard to beat someone that, everyone in the local area kind of already knows by name. But you can definitely be on this front page or be on the first page and eventually try to catch up, because I don't think landscaping is as big of a competition of, let's say, something like, HVAC services, air conditioning, heating, and, other things on there. So what I do is how I help my customers here and how I promote my lead generation service is I go to this tool and kind of look at your competitor's website, right? So your competitor is not Yelp. That's a website directory. This is your competitor again. And so I would go to this tool. It's called Ahrefs, and I would see how they're doing and what I need to do in order for me to get you up to that front page and try to beat this company, the VHS Landscaping. So as you can see, I put their domain up here and it'll tell me how they're doing, what again I need to do. So UR is their URL metrics, and of course both of these are on a scale of 100. They're only at 23, but I mean that's pretty good. And this has a lot to do with how strong your homepage is. So that's why it's very important to get the 1,500 words that really speak about your business when it comes to landscaping, and also how to save those photos. So it's going to compare your homepage profile against other landscaping businesses. And then DR, of course, is comparing your domain, the entire website, to other websites. And these guys have a domain rating, which is not so hot. So in other words, this is telling me we can probably beat these guys. You know, if I create a lead generation site specifically just for landscaping in San Antonio, we can beat these guys. Again, it's not going to be an overnight thing. You'll have to commit, you know, over time. Because I tell you, when I go back to here, VHS Landscaping, because they're on the front page, they're one of the first ones on what they call organic search. I can show you right here. Look at how much traffic they're getting. So 366 internet searchers, or there's a volume of 366 people who landed on their page. So that's quite a bit, you know. That doesn't mean that all of them became their customers, but you can best believe that, you know, most of these customers probably called them or emailed them asking for quotes. All right, so how to get to this area down here is called backlinking. And so what a backlink is another website that's linking back to yours, you know, saying that, hey, you know what, this company really is a landscaping company. They say who they say they are, and they provide the services that they say they provide. And so they have 30 referring domains, so you can have multiple backlinks from the domain. So that's giving them 61 backlinks. And so I can actually look at who's referring back to them. So when I click on here, I can see who's, you know, referring back to VHS Landscaping. So all these guys here, these other websites, you'll find that they have a link coming from them. Okay. And so what I would do is I can help by, you know, going on here and whatever is applicable to your business, I would try to get the same thing, you know, like localyahoo.com. You know, we can get that, you know, landscaper lists, America Top 10. These are things that we can easily get. We can also blog. And then the other thing too, let me go back here, overview, is I can look at the specific backlinks. Okay, so again, in order to be on that top page, or, you know, one of the top, giving you at least an organic traffic of 366 lands on your page, that requires some backlinking. And that's, you can actually lose some backlinks, because as you can see here, they've historically had 315 backlinks and 66 referring domains. You can easily lose that. You know, some websites don't exist forever, so they can lose that, or they'll just cut you off. And so that's why it's good to have a search engine optimization agency to always monitor your website on a monthly basis to keep you on top. Okay, the other thing that I can show you here is the keywords that they use. So I can click on here and see what keywords did VHS Landscaping use in order for them to rank on the top. And so here I can see, so volume is, you know, how much searches for this specific keyword per month. So like they've had, not specifically for them, but in totality, there were 350 people that searched San Antonio landscapes. And landscaping San Antonio, there was 400. San Antonio landscaper, 300. So these are words that you can probably, that I would use for building your website or lead generation website. And that way we can get some of this volume. And as you can see here, when people type in San Antonio landscapes, this company, VHS Landscaping, is in position number 2. So they're on that very first page of Google when someone types that in. If somebody types in landscaping San Antonio out of these 400 people, they'll see that VHS Landscaping is again on the front page, the second position. Same thing with San Antonio Landscaper. Landscaping, because it's not specific to San Antonio or any of the surrounding cities, that can be anywhere. So, I mean, that can be up in New York, if anything, down in Florida. So I wouldn't even, you know, even though it's listed on here, because it's not specific to the local area, I wouldn't even use that. And then something like San Antonio landscape again is another thing. So these are some keywords again I could use to start putting on the content portion of your homepage. So that way Google can crawl it and they can start ranking your webpage so you can be on the top. And so it's good because I could see what your competitors are doing on a monthly basis and what we need to do to beat them. Okay. Keyword density, this is how hard it is to rank against your competitors. So the lower the number, and this is out of a scale of 100, the better. And in fact, if it's 5 or below, I try to go for that one. See, there's not so much competition when it comes to VHS landscaping because that's specific to that company. Let me see if there's one though that's below. Or right here, landscape designer, San Antonio, Texas. It's still, I mean, it's not below 5, but I would definitely use that. There's only 30 search volume, but still, it's low enough where we can start using that. I mean, I would also use this higher, more popular keywords as well as part of your content. All right, so that's pretty much it, Melvin, in terms of building a lead generation website or your very own website. Doing SEO, as you can see, it's not easy and it does take a lot of time. Let me just show you one more thing when it comes to keywords. So I can tell here when I look at the organic keywords, PPC 0, this means that they are not advertising. So that's pretty good because they're not even paying for a Google ad and they're still getting a lot of organic traffic. Plus the Google ads doesn't affect your organic traffic. This all has to do with being on that very front page, and that's where we want to be. And we can do the same thing for tree services. So I did a Google search on tree services San Antonio, Texas. Let me refresh that. And so again, map, you'll have to do your citations in order to be up here, because you can be up here and not be down here, and you can be on both. You can, like these guys, San Antonio tree surgeons, they're up here in the map section, and they're down here at the #1 spot. So these guys are probably getting a lot of the traffic because they're listed in 2 places here on the front page. So Tree Service San Antonio. Again, this is their website. Again, I would build in just based on this. I can see we can probably build one where we're really talking about the services you're providing with those 1,500 keyword-rich content. Let me see how they save this photo. Save image as. Okay, that's good. Live oak trimmed. Let's see if there's. I'm just trying to see how they're saving their photos because again, it's important to save your photos correctly. These are actually links. And they have a blog, so the blog is really giving them a lot of ranking as well. Because, in the blog you can put in a lot of keywords. So this is, again, your competition for tree services. And so I went ahead and did their analysis of their website. And as you can see here, they have over 1,000 backlinks coming from 114 referring domains. I can go into that. I showed you that with the landscaping. The organic keywords, they have over 1,000 organic keywords. And PPC, so they're paying for Google Ads. And let me show you this. So with their Google Ads for the San Antonio tree surgeons, I'll show you how Google Ads can really become expensive. So just based on this, all right, so residential tree services. Somebody types in residential tree service and they click on their ad. For every time somebody clicks on it, whether or not they become a customer, that's $7 a click. So out of this 40, if 10 of them click on San Antonio's tree surgeons, they'll pay $70 for that. Okay. And yeah, so their keywords are really not relevant to their website. I mean, it doesn't really talk about, they have Donegan Tree Service, C&M Tree Service, that's not really relevant. I wouldn't even add those as part of the Google Ads. So that's it with these guys, the San Antonio Tree Searchers. So it looks like they have a lot more work for us to do to rank that versus the landscaping. You see how with these guys, they have fewer backlinks, fewer referring domains, yet a lot of traffic. So we can definitely work on the landscaping. And then, not to say that this one is hard to beat. You can definitely beat these guys. It's just probably going to take more time. Okay, so Melvin, hopefully that was helpful to you. That's how I do the websites and SEO and trying to rank you and getting more leads. If you don't already have a website, you're kind of behind the curveball because, again, like I said, in order to become front page, to beat these guys, a lot of times San Antonio Tree Searchers is probably a very popular tree service in San Antonio, but it can be done. So let me know. I'll be glad to either do lead generation with SEO or just, create your own website with SEO. And we can talk about that more. And hopefully this is helpful to you to understand how I can help. Thanks. Hope you have a great day.